the first one is entitled Suffering and the Security of the Believer. A great many folk, oh, I didn't get me a drink. Sorry. Let me get a drink. My throat is telling me that I'm suffering. It's kind of like I'm drinking salt water while I'm talking. I die of thirst. The title of verse 1 is Suffering and the Security of the Believer. A great many folk have never had the feeling of assurance in their salvation. The security of the believer is a doctrine which I believe, although it took me a long time to come to the place of assurance in my own salvation. And there are many folk who do not have the assurance of their salvation. Why? Because suffering and the security of the believer go together. And do you know what this produces? It produces joy. Can you imagine that? Now, this first verse is just loaded with meaning. Peter, an apostle of Jesus Christ, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 1. First of all, note his name, Peter, Petros in the Greek, a stone. And he is now the rock man. The day of Pentecost is behind him, and he knows that it is what it is to take a stand for Christ. He has been arrested and put in jail. He has been threatened, and he realized that there is it's crucifixion on a cross ahead of him. Peter is a man who knows what he is talking about, my friend. I must confess that I am not impressed by professors in theological seminaries with little, if any, experience as pastors who get up and spin off some little theory to prepare young men for the ministry. They don't really know the problem of a pastorate because they haven't had the experience. They don't know what it is what it is really to suffer for Christ. After hearing them, I feel like turning back to Peter's first letter and reading it again because I believe Peter. He knew what it was talking about. I'm sorry, but I don't trust these young professors. I want to hear from the man who has gone through the experiences. Peter, an apostle of Christ. Peter is an apostle of Jesus Christ. That is all he claimed to be, although he always heads my list of apostles. I love him. He is not to be placed above the other apostles. When Paul went to Jerusalem to confer with the apostles, he talked with Peter, James, and John. That's his inner circle. The main three, Peter was actually on top. And he said that they seemed to be the pillars of the church, but he did not learn the gospel from them. Paul makes it very clear that he received the gospel directly from Jesus Christ by revelation. Therefore, does Peter claim superiority? Uh, Nowhere does Peter claim superiority. He was an apostle. That's all. To the strangers scattered through Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. I pronounced it earlier fairly well. Why couldn't I do it then? He is writing to the strangers or aliens who were scattered throughout the Roman Empire. They were Jews called the diaspora because they were no longer in the land of Palestine. Due to persecution and other reasons, they were scattered